Hi guys, Teju here, and welcome back to Rehustle. So much in store for you today. For you guys just joining, Rehustle is my YouTube journey where I'm sharing me rehustling, starting a new business completely from scratch, transitioning my entrepreneurial endeavors to something in the health and wellness space. So over the next couple of weeks, I am going to continue taking you guys on this journey as I try to figure out what's the right business idea to pursue. And then after that, I'll document me trying to start the business completely from scratch. So a ton of things happened over the last week or so. So I went ahead and I tested some ads on Facebook for you guys just joined again. So there's two different ideas. One is a program where we match you to nutritionists and you get help hacking your diet with a certified nutritionist. So not just someone who's a wellness coach, someone that actually has the training, understands the body, and can give you the right diet advice. We're also thinking about layering in some food intolerance testing. People don't really know that much about which foods actually work for their bodies. So they would take the test, give it to their nutritionist that we match them with, and then go through a process over 3 to 6 months to completely pivot their style of eating. That's idea one. And then idea two is this organic Castile soap line. I'm a huge fan of Castile soap, just body products. I spend probably like way too much money on body products. So the idea is, hey, why don't I create one that's actually made from 100% olive oil? A lot of Castile soaps that are out there in the marketplace, they are actually mixed with multiple different oils. So they'll use coconut oil or sunflower oil. And some of those oils, when they are transformed into a soap, they're actually really harsh for your skin. So they make great cleaners, but they're not as moisturizing as you need them to be for your skin. So the idea is going back to how Castile soap was originally made, making a pure 100% olive oil product that is natural, cruelty-free, sustainable, and makes your skin glow. So those are the two ideas, completely different from what I'm doing now, which is marketing. And I'm rehustling, starting from scratch to try to build those ideas. So back to what I was doing last week. So Nourish Print was the idea in our survey. So if you go back, I think it's an episode or two ago, I talk about how before even starting these ideas, I launched a survey on Ask Your Target Market to say, hey, what are you interested in? And I targeted women, that's my target audience for these business ideas, and got some feedback. And on that survey, Nourish Print, which is the nutritionist idea, was the one that won. So, I've kind of put a little bit more energy into that idea. I built a site, a really draft site quickly, nothing too fancy, just WordPress with a theme from Theme Forest. And I have been testing. So I ran some ads to the homepage of this site. And unfortunately, I got no results. So I got 25 clicks. I think I spent obviously this was a small test, in terms of will people actually click? Can I even get someone to fill out the assessment that I've created? I spent, maybe around $30. So not a bad result at all. But I was trying to see if I could at least get one person to fill out the assessment. There's a short assessment that you need to take in order to enroll in Nourish Print. So I was trying to see if anyone would actually do that. No one did the assessment. The other thing I did to beta test this Nourish Print idea was that I posted to Craigslist. I posted a quick ad that said hey, if you're interested in hacking your body, losing some weight, getting in shape, then we have a program. I put it at $99 for a 3-month run and wanted to say, hey, would anyone even sign up for this? And no one signed up for that either. So I'm a little bit, again, this is very early on. I didn't spend that much money on the Facebook ad, but I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't gotten one bite at all. Compare that to the Castile soap idea. So the Castile soap idea, I did the same thing. I have a super beta website set up at blisswell.co. I don't think that's gonna be the name that I call the soap, but just wanted to, have no friction and just action, get something out there. So I just used blisswell.co, which is a domain I already had, and launched a quick site and used some mock-ups. So I know a bit of graphic design. I wouldn't call myself a graphic designer at all, but I know how to hack a PSD template from Theme Forest or Graphic River like it's nobody's business. So I found this template, online that was of a soap bottle. I just like edited it myself as quickly as I could. And I put this thing on this website just to say like, okay, let's get this out there. Is anyone even interested in this idea? Could I like sell soap without even having the soap made before I spend money on distribution and manufacturing and testing the soap formulation, all that stuff that goes into creating a beauty product? Let's see if anyone's even interested in this. So with the same Facebook ad spend, it was crazy. I started to get people contacting me. People were commenting on the ad because what I did for the soap site was that I made it look like the products were out of stock. And there's a great WordPress plugin. If you want to test ideas in the same way that I'm doing it, again, I'll link up all these resources in the show notes. But there's a great WordPress plugin that you could set things out of stock, and that you could have people get notified, when the stock comes back in. And it was amazing. People were actually commenting on the Facebook ad, like, hey, the soaps are out of stock. Like, hey, someone Facebook messaged me and said, hey, do you what's going on with the soaps? Like, when are they going to be in stock? Can you let me know? So 2 different products, 2 different price points, 2 different markets. So I would not call these results like apples to apples at all, but super interested in the response on a Facebook campaign with, the same spend over, a week. The soap, people were reaching out to me. Nourishprint, crickets. So I'm gonna take that feedback and say, okay, let me put a little bit more money into testing. Like, I don't think that I would call $30 test statistically significant at all. I'm gonna ratchet it up over the next, week or 2 to about $100 per business idea. Run some other ads. I'm gonna test in Google just to see if there's some AdWord traffic, some, low cost keywords that I could target to bring people to these beta sites and see if I get any action or any bites that way. And I'll report back to you guys, when I'm done with that, to let you know what's happening. So what have I got in store? I'll quickly walk you guys through the Facebook ad that I launched. This is not, again, like for Rehustle, I'm giving you a taste of how I'm launching the business. This is by no means an exhaustive course on how to launch a Facebook ad. I'm gonna run you guys through quickly just so that you could see how to get started. And then in the following week, what I'm going to do is just start interviewing on how I would create these products. So for Nourishprint, it's technically a service model. It's gonna end up being like a SaaS business. SaaS is software as a service. So I'm going to need nutritionists to power that business. I had posted a job requisition for a nutritionist like when I was first coming up with these ideas and coming up with even the Rehustle concept. So this was a couple months ago. And I got north of like 700 nutritionists who applied for this job. So now what I'm gonna do over this next week, in addition to testing these ideas more thoroughly, I'm gonna start looking at some of those resumes. I used a service called Workable in order to post the job ads. So I'm gonna look at these Workable responses and say, is there anyone that I would actually choose to be part of this beta from a nutritionist perspective? Who would I hire? The other thing that I've done is parallel tracking. I posted on Upwork. I love using Upwork. I've hired assistants and graphic designers, like entire freelance teams from Upwork. So I'm posting on Upwork to find a product packaging designer. So while my little hack worked for running the ads, it's not going to work for actually building a product. So I'm going to see how much would it cost for me to hire a product packaging designer. Could I hire one in the United States? Should I look overseas? And maybe have them start taking the mock-ups that I created to the next level, since there were some bites on this Castile soap idea. So I'm excited. Again, I'm gonna run you through quickly how I launched my YouTube ad, just so you could see. I hope you guys are rehustling with me. If there's a business that you wanted to start, follow along each episode and do some of the things that I'm doing. Learn as I'm learning, and would love for you to share your progress over the next couple of weeks as we rehustle and try to build something new. Until next time, guys. So I said YouTube ads, guys, but I actually meant Facebook, so sorry about that. So you'll see here, we're in the Facebook Ads Manager, setting up our ads. I decided to set up the campaign objective as traffic to start off with. You could also do conversions. There's a ton of different options. But whenever I'm first starting out an ad, for about the first week, I'll have the campaign goal as traffic, because I want to use the data that I get, try to get as much data as possible to understand the demographics, which creative is performing. And then I'll actually pivot the ad to a conversion-based campaign, which is for another more exhaustive course on Facebook advertising. I am creating the ad set name. You can name your ad whatever you would like. I like to use some elements of the audience in the ad set name. That's just what works for me and helps keep me organized. Now we're going to go into creating our audience. So I'm using Facebook's demographics, psychographic tags in order to limit the number of individuals that I'm showing my ads to. So, I've decided that I want to target women who speak English, who are, 21 years old to about 60 years old, just to start off with. We're going to completely narrow our scope. Once we start to get data, we may actually get to the point where we say, hey, women who are 30 to 36 are a sweet spot. Let's only show ads to them. But again, wanting to collect data on creative, to try to see if we can get at least one person to complete the assessment in this ad run. So now I'm going into detailed targeting and trying to figure out, are there some markers or some data points that we could use to further limit the audience that we're targeting, to further, kind of narrow the scope so that we're speaking to the right people. So I'm trying to find out, can we get to people who are trying to, lose weight, get in shape, because those are just some of the core goals that I've heard from others as to why they would sign up for Nourish Print. However, Facebook doesn't have that, data point. So now I'm thinking, hey, let's try to target people who are interested into physical fitness or maybe, healthy eating. And let's see how that, segmentation performs. Depending on how it performs, we'll either double down there or we'll pivot. You can also run Facebook ads if you have your own email list of people that you'd like to target. You can run Facebook ads to them. Super powerful, probably the most powerful way to do Facebook advertisement, I think. So once we build an email list for Nourish Print of people who are interested, even if they don't convert, what I'm going to do is upload that email list and target them in our ads. So we're kind of all set with setting up our ad. I'm going to shift the budget to about $5 a day. I think on Facebook you can go to as low as $2 a day. So, there's tons of flexibility in budgeting. Even if you're working on a small budget, you can still run, Facebook ads with a really small daily spend. I'm going to do this ad for about a week. This is just to collect data points to see if anyone even clicks to sign up on the program. So setting it up here so that it automatically ends, and then I can log back in, go through the data and analytics and figure out, what actually worked. So now we're going into actually setting up the ad. So I just renamed my ad, and there's a ton of different features and functionality that Facebook has. And I recommend that you actually spend some time exploring and testing if you haven't done Facebook advertisement before. There's a ton of cool hacks and things that you can do to get the most mileage out of your spend. So you can see all the different accounts that I've got. I am selecting Nourish Print to run the ads to. We do have an Instagram account that I quickly set up for Nourish Print. So you could also leverage Facebook ads platform to run Instagram, or you could actually run Instagram ads natively on Instagram, whichever way you choose. Just because I can't remember the login, I'm going to skip that and, go ahead and just run these ads quickly on Facebook. So I created, a image, and I just did a quick overlay, nothing fancy with Facebook though. And now I'll enter our URL. And I'll go in and create some text for the headline and also for the body copy. And that's it. Really easy. Launch your Facebook ad. Till next time, guys, keep re-hustling.